Hey there, thank you for tuning in and for joining. My name is Cutter Martin, a First Alert Meteorologist here at Atlanta News First. We're streaming live right now on ANF Plus, here to give you a check of the First Alert Forecast, what we have going on. And in reality, it's been a trend towards drier weather and a trend towards not as much going on across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta. So there has been a little bit of a change in the First Alert Forecast. We started to pare down that rain chance about this time yesterday as data trended drier and the setup just wasn't as favorable for the widespread and really persistent rain. And we continue to kind of step down that rain chance, bring it down notch by notch. Now, it's not completely dry. We certainly had some rain this morning. In fact, live look outside looks like it's going to rain at any moment. But at this time, rain remains very spotty. Again, we're tracking a little bit of drizzle out there, a few sprinkles, but scattered showers still in the forecast later on this evening, in particular the overnight hours into the wee hours of our Sunday morning. So first alert if you have any extended outdoor plans. Yes, a little extra attention needed on the forecast. Make sure you have your rain alerts turned on in the First Alert weather app. By the way, if you don't have it, it's a good resource and it can keep you informed and keep you alert to any changes in the weather, no matter where your plans are, North Georgia, Metro Atlanta, and beyond. Just search Atlanta News First or First Alert Weather in your app or Google Play Store. So it looks like it's going to rain at any minute, but in reality, rain is fairly spotty. In fact, we're going to bring you to radar right now, and we'll bring you the first alert here. And again, we're not tracking much in the way of rain across the immediate region. It is absolutely pouring to our south, and it is pouring to our north. Kind of a conveyor belt, kind of two fire hoses here of moisture pointed both to our north and to our south. And in between, we've been relatively dry. We haven't been tracking that much in the way of widespread rain. We had a round this morning. And we've had some very spotty rain this afternoon, but you can see not too much going on at the moment, though we will have to see, as our next little disturbance approaches, what develops off to our south and west, and that is going to be the next trigger, so to speak, for a few showers to develop. I don't think rain will be widespread, but there is certainly still some rain in the First Alert forecast, though not as much, certainly not as widespread nor as persistent as what it was looking like yesterday for today. Let's take you outside right now. Centennial Olympic Park, of course, big game going on. And it is going to be a relatively uneventful weather-wise game stretch there. If you're tailgating, adjacent to that area, or maybe in your own backyard, anywhere across North Georgia, Metro Atlanta, and in this general area, it's looking not too bad. I don't think you're going to be dealing with widespread rain, but of course, by that last quarter, maybe as we go into the after-game festivities, that rain chance may nose up just a little bit. Hey, temperature's mild too. It kind of looks like a cold winter day, but not really feeling like it. Up to 67 in Atlanta, Lawrenceville 63, Marietta 66, Noonan 65. Hour-by-hour forecast. Again, we do have a first alert going into the evening hours, but it's not going to be particularly widespread, and I think most folks will probably be wrapping up those plans and heading back indoors by the time that the rain chance does start to really increase here as we get into the 11 p.m., 10 p.m., midnight, 1 a.m. time frame. That's going to be the time we are watching for a greater chance of showers, maybe a rumble or two of thunder, but I think mainly showers here to re-enter the forecast. And by that point, most folks are indoors, so a relatively low-impact event here, trending drier. That forecast has done that for the past 24 hours. Temperatures nearly steady, low clouds, patchy fog a possibility, but rain will be relatively hit or miss. Again, if you're just tuning in, thank you for watching ANF Plus, streaming the First Alert forecast here for you live. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin. If you do have any weather questions, comments, concerns, I want to remind you, YouTube is the place to be, the account to follow. That is what I am watching here, actually just off camera, watching the comment feed and viewers. And if you do have any weather questions, comments, concerns, that is the platform to ask them. They'll be streaming across many platforms right now: Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, AtlantaNewsFirst.com, First Alert Weather app, the Atlanta News First app. But to converse back and forth, maybe get some clarification on what has ended up being a pretty tricky forecast, you can do that. Atlanta News First. Go ahead and like our YouTube account so you can get updates like this one about the forecast, but also any breaking news and news headlines, and we'll be back here again streaming ANF Plus at 8 p.m. But again, I'm bringing you actually some relatively good news. Let's take you back outside. Looks like it's going to rain at any moment, but rain remains spotty. In fact, if you're just tuning in and you kind of missed the gist of the forecast, certainly the forecast has trended drier over the past 24 hours or so. I was talking with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Valdez yesterday. We started lowering the rain chance then First Alert Meteorologist Fred Campagna did for the late evening newscast. And then First Alert Meteorologist Courtney Jacobazi this morning furthered that lowering trend and kind of right on the point here. We still have the possibility of some scattered rain that could impact some of your plans. Still keep an eye on the forecast. Those rain alerts turned on in the First Alert weather app. It's not a sunny day, carefree day where you can just forget about the weather if you have outdoor plans, but certainly not as bad as it was once looking. So just keep that in mind as you go through your evening. Still a good idea to go ahead and keep an eye on that forecast. Speaking of the forecast, let's walk you hour by hour. Notice how forecast model is a little too aggressive with rain, but has a better idea than it did this time yesterday. Rain both north and south of metro Atlanta. As we go deeper into the evening, again, spotty showers, 7, 8, 9. Not a huge deal, not a big impact. But, showers will be around, hit or miss. May rain moderate, perhaps briefly heavy for a few moments, and then it passes by and you're back to drier weather. That's the trend tonight. And again, I think a lot of this will focus both north of metro Atlanta and south of metro Atlanta, but the chance does in general increase as we get into the wee hours of Sunday morning. Here we are, 6 a.m. Sunday. If you live west of 75, northwest of 85, we are looking like we're going to be drying out by that point. If you live in Covington, Rockdale County as well, over towards Eatonton, if you're spending this weekend on Lake Sinclair and Oconee, a couple of showers are possible early in the morning, mainly before sunrise, and then we're going to dry it out very quickly. Here we are, 11 a.m. We begin tomorrow with mainly pretty much the same temperatures we have right now in the low to mid 60s. And by noon, we're not warming up much. We're going mid to upper 60s tomorrow. Mountains also in the 60s. Lots of clouds tomorrow. Probably nearly as cloudy as today. Maybe a few peaks of sunshine, but we're going to bring that rain chance down to basically zero through the afternoon hours. And then as we get into Sunday evening, finally starting to clear out. And then more noticeable clearing as we get into Monday morning. But I think even Monday morning, we're going to wake up to some cloud cover out there. Mix of sun and clouds out the door Monday, temperatures 30s and 40s. That breeze is blowing, so it's starting to feel more like late fall again. In fact, Monday forecast to be eventually a sunnier day, but also a cooler day with temperatures only peaking in the 50s and lower 60s. And there will be a pretty brisk wind in the forecast as we get into Monday afternoon. Jason B., will we have a white Christmas? Starting with the hard questions, Jason. Unlikely. Statistically, it is not likely that we will have any wintry weather conveniently timed with the Christmas holiday. But, and again, everything in weather as the past 24 to 36 hours has proved, everything does include a but, ... There is that chance, with it being an El Nino winter, that we could have a more active storm track. I think we're starting to kind of get in and settle into that pattern. It's just a question of, do we time the storms right with the cold air? And is the air cold enough to get snow? And at what depth is that cold air? So we first need the air to be cold enough. We need the storm system to be here. And we need the cold air to be in the right place so we don't get sleet, we don't get freezing rain, we get pure snow. And I have no clue is the official answer for the Christmas holiday. It is looking like we're going to get a more active storm track setting up as we get into the middle of December, so the next week and a half or so, and beyond that point. But how long it lingers, and just do we time things right? That's the big question mark as far as any wintry weather this far south, including metro Atlanta, North Georgia, anyone watching in the southeast. Do we time it right? And that's even if we even have a storm moving through the south and the southeast around the Christmas holidays. I wish I knew, Jason. Fingers crossed, of course. Snow around the holiday also causes problems. Folks have to stay at work. Travel plans get changed, stuff like that. But it is pretty nice when you have at least some flurries flying around on Christmas, right? Again, Jason asking that question on YouTube. Atlanta News First is the account to like and to follow if you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, whether it be about the holiday weather or just what's going on outside right now and is it going to rain in my backyard? Feel free to holler and ask those questions on YouTube. Atlanta News First is the account to like and follow. Also, right now we're streaming at AtlantaNewsFirst.com, Roku, Amazon, Fire Stick, First Alert Weather app, the Atlanta News First app. Pretty much every place that you can get Atlanta News First, we stream ANF Plus outside of news time just to keep you covered, both news and weather-wise. Here's the 7-day forecast. Notice how we do keep some clouds into Monday. That cloud icon is mainly for the morning. And then sunnier as we get into Monday afternoon, clearer Monday evening, Monday night. And then as we get into our Monday night and Tuesday, that's when the chill really starts to settle in, and it is looking like it's going to be a pretty cold middle of the work week coming up. Notice 59 Tuesday afternoon, chilly, struggling. It will struggle to hit 51 degrees, I think, in Atlanta on Wednesday. That means many neighborhoods, many communities staying in the 40s. In fact, even Atlanta, 51 could be a little bit generous there. Some of the data we're looking at trending even cooler, this air mass appearing even colder. So we'll have to see. But it comes with sunshine, and of course sun angle pretty low, but sunshine does work its magic trying to get us to 50 or so Wednesday afternoon. Regardless, whether it's 49, 50, 51, it's going to be cold and cold feeling because Wednesday looks gusty. Winds gusting to about 30 miles an hour. Eventually, winds settle down, skies remain clear, that cold air settles in. So I think gardeners, Wednesday morning will be cold, but Thursday morning is looking colder. And as we get into our Friday, a chilly start, cold start outside of the city, perhaps with a greater frost potential Friday with calmer winds and that clear sky Friday morning. But then as we get into the following weekend, we're going to start to warm it back up, and that's when the next storm system will make a run at North Georgia and Metro Atlanta. That is when we're going to bring that rain chance back into the forecast next Sunday into Monday, and another blast of cold air arriving just behind that one, Jason. But again, timing not on our side this time. It's just going to warm up, we'll get a rain chance, and then we'll get cold as that system moves on through. I want to remind you, we are always here to keep you covered. You can reach out to any of us, social media as well, even if we're not streaming on ANF+. You can find me on Instagram, Threads, Twitter, X now, Facebook, not just myself, but First Alert Meteorologist Ella Dorsey, Courtney Jacobazzi, Rodney Harris, Patrick Pete, Fred Campania, and Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Valdez, all here to keep you covered. So, good news, rain chance has come down a notch or two, not tracking widespread rain this afternoon, this evening, but there is a chance of hit or miss showers in the forecast. So just bring the First Alert Weather app along with you. If you do have evening plans, don't cancel those plans, though. And tomorrow, the drier trend begins, and we're back to full sunshine by the time we get into Monday afternoon. Have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. We'll see you again streaming 8 p.m., of course, on social media, and then join us for Atlanta News First on Peachtree TV, Atlanta CW affiliate at 10 p.m.